Hello, everyone. I hope everybody's doing fine. Uh, I've been meaning to make this video, but I've been very lazy these past I don't know how many months. But it's a follow up to the part where I said that I was going to start taking Wellbutrin, which was at the beginning of the year, and I had like a very I had like a depressive episode um, starting on January, um, because well, December, January, that was when I was fairly depressed, and then I started going into, like, I spoke with my psychiatrist, who put me on Wellbutrin, or bupropion, something like that, which I think that's what that's called, yeah. So I was actually quite interested in taking this particular medication, because I've been in so many others that it's I don't know, I'm very open to trying out these things and see how they modify your behavior, or how things actually progress, if I can tell that I'm doing well. That's why I'm very I was for the one that I was on before, which was Effexor, and now I'm like on this one. But like I'm willing to try it out. The only problem with these things is they have a ramp up phase, so it takes a while for you to realize that you're actually on, that these medications are actually taking effect on you, on the brain. And like, you sometimes can't really measure the things until you've already been on them like for some time. That, I mean, like, there's no measurement that somebody can go into, like saying, oh yeah, your like levels have gone up on whatever chemical in your brain you're aiming to increase. But either way, like, so yeah, Wellbutrin is supposed to be a norepinephrine dopamine reuptake inhibitor, and I was quite interested in that. Like, I've been on other norepinephrine reuptake inhibitors, like Effexor was one of them, and I don't have a bad memories of being on Effexor, if that makes any sense. Like, Effexor was norepinephrine and serotonin reuptake inhibitors, and serotonin is like a feel-good drug that is different to dopamine, because it calms you down. The only problem is that it has some side effects that I'm not a fan of. But so like this one has dopamine reuptake inhibitor, which is like I think it's what gives, like, when you're in love, you feel like increases in dopamine effect. Um, but either way, like, I was very interested in doing this, mainly because not only that, I have very big issues with attention, and as well as I have huge issues with procrastination, which is well, something that I'll get into like in a little bit. But so yeah, I was on it. I started with 150, I think it's just the lowest dose, moved up to 300, which is this one that I have right here. And I actually still have a full bottle back there somewhere. And yeah, I started taking it, and at some point I knew it was working because of one of its main side effects, which is the energy that it gives you. The norepinephrine part, which is what makes you move, was working. I was always falling asleep around 1 a.m. up to 2 a.m. the latest. And I had actually had I was able to maintain a sleeping schedule for the longest time, even when I was depressed, where I would fall asleep around always 11 to 10 p.m. 10 p.m. 11 p.m. I was asleep. But then all of a sudden I was taking this and I would fall asleep really late. And I had seen a lot of things where it says that, like, that's the first thing you'll notice. You'll have all this energy. But I wasn't feeling it at first. Like, I didn't see any, I still wasn't feeling better. And at some point, I guess I started feeling better. But in part, that's what I do not like about these things, is that you can't really tell whether it was a drug kicking in or not, because it felt like almost at some point I was just going to start feeling differently. Um, I don't know. I'd always realized I've been in depressive episodes before, and would call them that because they seem to eventually stop. Like I haven't been caught on, I guess, on something like that is that debilitating where you've been depressed an entire year. I've known someone that has clinical depression, and I mean you can tell that it really is debilitating as physically. But either way, like I was on this thing, and I've always had a problem with being like my brain is incredibly active at night, and I don't even know if to say it like in a positive way. That's something that I can tell you that is good, because I start thinking about all the things that could have been, all the things that I would like to be, all the things that I don't know that I could do. So normally I would like think a lot, but there's also problems where I would think about persons that I've had relationships with, things that I could have done that I haven't done and that I wish I could do, and like sometimes it became not like brain activity that was positive. It was more like it started to feel like desperation, like really bad, like where I would be thinking, what am I ever going to be like successful? Will I ever feel successful? Will I ever feel like I'm able to do things that I don't know that I would like to do? It always feels like I'm not in control of my life. All these weird things I would start thinking at night. And when I started taking Wellbutrin, it felt like it got really intense, like to a point where it was really, really like too much. At times I just wouldn't be able to sleep because of all these thoughts that would go around. And like I was hoping that this would actually take care of like I guess I don't know if it addresses OCD, in a part that I have like I have problems letting things go. Like whenever I commit a mistake, I would just mull it over and over and over and over again, blaming myself for it about what I could have done, even though it really makes no sense. Like the time to do something about it like was done, but I would just like blame myself and martyrize myself over it. I would just like ugh. I would just really make myself feel bad about it. So I at some point I just wasn't feeling depressed as well, and I was having this problem with like these intense feelings at night. So I thought like, I can't be dealing with both of these things at now. I don't feel like there's depression, and I just don't want to feel like this like really weird things at night, because they make you feel like as though I should be doing something else with my life. Not only that, at some point I also started feeling like I got into this trap of thinking, why am I here if I'm only doing the same things over and over again, over and over again? I'm living just for the sake of living. And I don't know, it was really frustrating. So about, I think I was on Wellbutrin for a total of 3 months. And around June, I stopped. I said, like, I'm just gonna stop taking this. Like, again, I've done this before where I just would stop taking something. I actually did ramp down, but it was a quick ramp down. I just stopped like about in 2 weeks. Just quit like the medication. I would go from 300 to 150s, and then after that I exited completely. And after that, I haven't been depressed, but I've been extremely lazy. I just haven't done anything. But I feel like that's normal with me. The only problem is that it feels as though like last year I had more inspiration to do things. Like I was already working towards several certifications. I even got like a technical title last year from university, but I was doing things. Right now I just don't want to do anything. I mean, I gained weight while I was on Wellbutrin, which is something that a lot of people think that there isn't supposed to happen, but I gained it. I think I gained like about 5 kilos, which is around 12 to maybe 14 pounds. I don't know, something like that. But I mean, overall, if thinking about taking it, I'm always all for taking these like mind-altering drugs. And you will always find people that will argue against it, that maybe you should do more diet, more exercise, change certain things in your life. But like, it's always good to have some kind of catalyst or something that might actually pull you or point you towards that direction. And even though my experience with Wellbutrin was hit and miss, it wasn't bad. I mean, it never really got to a point where I wanted to harm myself or wanted to do something. It just got really, like, there was this just side effect, but I don't know if it's a side effect that was unique to me, and I don't even know if it was particularly the drug or not. Like, sometimes at night, even though I'm off of it, I do have these obsessive thoughts still. But honestly, that was the only thing I could think of, is that I have never really thought about so many things at once while I was on Wellbutrin. So I got off of it, and now I'm just pretty much on nothing. I'm trying to get back to my regular weight. I'm trying to lose that weight that I got before, but it's difficult to do. And I'm trying to do some projects in my life to learn stuff, but it's extremely difficult to do as well. Like, I just don't want to do anything. Like, even doing this video, sitting down to do it, it took me forever because every time I would find a reason not to do it, or not to like talk about anything in my life. I don't know. In part, that is like the avoidance in me still. I don't know. Dealing with life on the daily, it's a tricky thing to do. But I mean, if you're thinking about taking these things, like, please, like, do it. Like, if it's something that you are considering, like, it's all right, like, you should definitely go for it and just see, like, I don't know, like, if you take it and then realize, this isn't how I like to feel, but you have to really observe, you have to really notice all these things and changes. I don't know. Anyways, well, thank you for the listen. So yeah, that was my experience with Wellbutrin.